Hello and welcome to the Telegraph Studios. I'm Rachel Downey and today we're going to discuss how businesses can maximise the opportunity that auto-enrolment brings. I'm going to be joined by Christine Hallett, CEO of Kerry Pensions. Good afternoon, Christine.
Good afternoon, Rachel.
Auto-enrolment has been a requirement since 2012. Has it been a success so far?
It's really been successful, and that can be considered from an employer point of view, an employee point of view, and also the government's point of view. And from an employer point of view, they've been able to bring into the workplace an opportunity for all of their employees to save and plan for retirement. Many employers have actually harness the opportunity to also create a much more benefit structure, which has been beneficial in terms of retaining staff, offering a better employment package, salary package. What it's also meant is 9 million employees have actually started to save for the first time or have added more to their savings for their retirement, and that's as a direct result of the employers enabling them to do that through a very effective and quality auto-enrolment and pension scheme. So from that point of view, yes, it's been very successful.
So that's a fantastic increase already. So where do you see companies and employees by 2015?
It starts increasing now. In 2015, 152,900 employers have to take a decision in terms of choosing an appropriate pension scheme for their workforce. They have no option but to comply with the requirements. However, those that are starting to plan early, and there's many of them doing so, we're already talking to many companies because they want to get the best for their employees. They want to find a solution that works for them and their employees, so they don't want to leave it to the last minute. That increases then in 2016. There's 613,000 companies having to comply with the regulations, and in 2017 there's over 500,000 companies having to comply with the regulations.
So it's all about making the employees feel more positive, feel more excited about things to come. So how many more will be affected?
There's millions of employees that be affected. Every worker in this country by the end of 2018, that is between 22 and the state pension age and earning more than £10,000 a year, will be automatically enrolled into a pension scheme. So the decision for them is to stay in and start saving, or to make a positive decision to actually opt out, which they're free to do. There's a lot of education being provided by both the government, advisors and pension providers like ourselves, who are actually going out, talking to employers, talking to employees about what it means to them.
What happens if you miss the deadline?
Well, if employers miss the deadline, at the end of the day, they would go through an enforcement action by the regulators and they would be fined. However, again, on the positive side, most employers are taking it forward in a very much more proactive way. Some of them have failed to deliver in a timely manner. However, that doesn't mean enforcement with a hammer comes down straight away. It means that they're looking and seeking more support and help. And as long as there's evidence that they are trying to get it right, trying to deliver to their obligations and deliver a good solution for their employees, then the regulators are happy.
What benefit is it for the company?
So if the employers miss a deadline, at the end of the day, they will have more
potentially
strength
move
in
into
terms
enforcement
of
phase
providing a
by
package
the regulators.
that
Having said that,
is competitive.
must stress that
For example,
actually the regulators are
that
very
would be
supportive.
that they actually build
they
it into
want the
remuneration
employers to
strategies,
understand
into their
the benefit and their
packages.
obligations.
They use it as a
and they're
retention
providing a huge amount of support
opportunity,
themselves
but also
to
thinking
the
about
whole
things
industry
like
and
salary
to employers
exchange
to
and
enable them
the
to
benefits
understand
to the
and to
company of
enable
doing
them
the
to
pension
communicate to
contributions
the
that way,
employees the
enables
importance
them to
of what is
either
happening
put further
and what it means to them
contributions
as an
into
individual.
employee scheme,
Because it's
or
hugely
to
important that
offset
people
some of the
understand the
costs
impact and
that
don't
they're
make
having
decisions
to
about whether to stay in or opt
satisfy at
out
the moment,
just
by
on
offsetting some of the
what they
benefits
hear in the
that they
media,
would
for
reap.
example.
So a lot of support. What are the best questions companies can ask when choosing the best pension scheme?
It's very clear that companies need to understand their options. So they need to understand what type of pension they would be entering into. We know that 56% of employers that already have set up a pension scheme for their workforce are choosing a master trust defined contribution pension scheme. But there are other options, the insurance companies, there's the government option, Nest. So there's many options. It's very important that companies understand the pension provider and what they deliver. Do they deliver an end-to-end solution, or are they only interested in providing the pension, or are they only interested in providing the auto-enrolment assessment tool? There's many providers that do one or the other, and other providers that do the end-to-end solution. There's providers that just provide a one-size-fits-all. There's other providers that give flexibility to enhance the quality of the scheme that the employer is giving to the employees. And it's those options out there that the employer should be considering.
So how do you guys work? Can we have a step-by-step instruction on what happens when we contact you?
Well, Kerry Pensions is a pensions administration and trustee company. And again, the statistics show that 56% of employers are choosing a master trust route as their preferred option for pensions. We ourselves have a master trust pension scheme, which not only provides the default fund, but enables people to make choices beyond that to suit them as individuals. Because the one thing that companies are not is that they do not employ workers that are all the same. I might have a different view of risk compared to yourself. I'm obviously a lot older than you, and so people, need different things at different times of their life cycle. So we provide a full range of options within our master trust solution. We also provide the hand-holding for the auto-enrolment compliance piece. So we will work with the employers to make sure they understand what they have to communicate to the employees and when, how they have to assess all of their workers and what it means in terms of the assessment. And then we would run those assessments every payroll for them. We would provide an end-to-end solution into a qualifying workplace pension, providing online access to all employees so they can actually see the money going in and how it's invested. And all these things make up an added value benefit to both the employer and the employee.
Is it one size fits all?
Not at all. I mean, I think the point is that the earlier they plan, the better opportunities they'll have in terms Well, the fact is we're all living longer. That's reality. One of the drivers for implementing auto-enrolment in the first place. I think the reality is that once you've gone through the initial journey and everybody has got a workplace pension in place, you know, at the end of 2018. It's then about how that grows, and I think the reality is that we'll have a culture that recognises the importance of saving, whereas at the moment we don't really have that culture and haven't had for some years.
I agree. I think it's going to be a very different way of thinking in the future. Thank you, Christine, for joining us here today.
Thanks very much.